Hey guys, welcome to Film Learnin, the show dedicated to learning you some filmmaking and learning you good. And here we are. It's a new year. It's a shiny new season.
Thank you, Jesus!
Now I did plan on releasing the Dr. Alchemy pack first off, but you guys responded so well to the Guardians of the Galaxy title card I made up for the Season 5 teaser, it felt like I probably should lead with that. Well, that and I haven't finished the Dr. Alchemy thing yet.
My God.
So gang, what I've done is create a free custom template for you to use, already animated and ready to go. And today, I'm going to show you how you can customize it and add your own text, and of course, how to make that sweet hand-drawn effect when you see that Volume 2 text show up. Now in order to complete this, you'll need a few things. One, you'll need either a copy of After Effects CC that already has Cinema 4D Lite pre-installed, or a standalone copy of Cinema 4D version 14 or higher. And two, you'll need to download the Guardians, Bebas, and brush fonts down in the description. And finally, the Guardians download pack that contains all of our assets to make this title card. Now, let's get to work, shall we? Okay gang, here we are in After Effects CC. As you can see, I have all the assets from the download pack, including my Cinema 4D file called Guardians, and this is what the final rendered cinema file looks like. Nice. We also have the final comp that includes an animated background plate and the animated Volume 2 text complete with camera tracking. So basically, all we have to do to customize this title card is jump into Cinema 4D and a little bit of After Effects. But let's get the Cinema 4D stuff out of the way. Let's select the Cinema 4D file, head up to Edit and click on Edit Original. This will open Cinema 4D Lite in After Effects CC, or if you have the standalone version of Cinema, you just open this file. Now that Cinema's open, you can hit the play button and see what we're working with. As you can see, both the text and camera are animated. You may also notice that the Marvel logo just appears like. That's because it's had its opacity animated, and in the preview, you'll only see it appear. Once we render out the file, it'll fade in normally. So, how do we customize the text? Easy. As you can see over here in the object menu, each of the words has a text file in a subsection. There we go. So all we need to do here is click on it and then type a new word down here. So let's do that now. Instead of Guardians, I'll type film. There we go, it's now updated. And if we play it back in preview, everything still works and you can do that with all the text. So let's change the galaxy to say Learnin. Now say I want to change the alignment of where it sits. We'll just select the text layer and our crosshairs here and we'll just move it along. It won't break the animation, it'll all work just fine. If I click the play button, you can see, still works. Now if you wanted to change the title of say the Marvel Studios text up here, that's a little more complicated. As long as your text fits within the red backplate and the lines of the studio, along here, you're fine. But if you need to, you can widen both. So say I want to type Learnin Films. So as you can see, I've gone outside the lines. So firstly, I'll realign the text to the center of our red backplate. From there, I'll just jump to multi-view mode, head to the front view, and using the scale adjusters right here, we'll simply drag it out until it's the same size as our text. Done. Now as you can see, our Learnin Films part has actually taken over the studios bit. So what we'll do is we'll realign the studios to go after that. Now guys, the same rules do apply for the lines around the word studio. If you type a word that's longer than the border lines, you need to recenter the text like so. Then we'll jump to the front view and then make those lines longer to cover your longer word. Right, now we've changed this text, we need to do one more thing before we render it out. If we head to the first frame of our animation and do a preview render, you can see that the blue parts of the text are a little bit too far down in our lettering. So here's how we fix that. Firstly, we have to make the object editable by hitting this button right here. From there, we'll drop down this submenu and select the blue cap. All we have to do here is just drag it up a little like so. We'll then rinse and repeat this step for our bottom text and let's check out a preview. Nice. Looks like we're ready to render it out. Now if we head up here and click in render settings, this button here, you can see that everything is already set up and ready to go, apart from a save location. Now since I'm saving this render as a PNG sequence, I recommend that you make a new folder wherever you're going to save this, as we are rendering out 168 separate images, and that's going to take up a bit of space if you just save it wherever. Now gang, it is always better to render out an image sequence over a video file, because if your render say has an error or stops for some reason, you don't actually lose all the progress, since you've been rendering frame by frame. So I'll hit render, and guys, this might take a bit of time to render, so go grab yourself a sandwich or something, and I'll just skip back to After Effects in the meantime. There we go. Gee, that was quick. So here we are back in After Effects. I'm going to import my rendered sequence, making sure the image sequence is checked down here. Let's then click OK, and let's have a look at it in the project menu, because it should be 24 frames per second. If yours is imported natively at 30 frames per second, we need to fix that. Right click on the sequence and head up to interpret footage and type in 24 and click OK. We're all good to go now. Right, let's drop our newly rendered footage in below our volume 2 text right here and check out a preview. Nice, everything is working great. Now the last thing I need to explain is how to make our volume 2 text appear on screen like it's being written out by hand. To do this, let's open up the volume 2 pre-comp. From there, let's select our text comp, head up and grab the pen tool. And here's what we need to do. We need to draw a mask through the text in the direction we want it to be written out. So our V gets a stroke straight down and back up like so. We'll then click off that text layer, click back on, and draw a mask around the O like so. There we go. And next, and shocking I know, let's click off the layer, click back on, and then draw the owl. We'll then continue along until all our lettering's done. Once you're done, let's head over to presets and type stroke. We'll then drop that on our text layer, and from there we want to hit the checkbox on all masks and strokes sequentially. From there we need to head down to brush size, and we need to crank that brush size up until it completely obscures our text. Now you may find that as you increase the brush size, your strokes start to touch each other, and that's not something we want to happen. So you may have to jump in and just adjust these masks just so they don't touch each other. Yeah, that looks a bit better. Next, let's zero out both start and end, and then in paint style, we'll select Reveal Original Image. Now if we play with the start percentage, you can see the letters right on the screen. Cool, eh? So let's animate that. We'll head to the first frame of our text layer, right here, hit the stopwatch on start, and then head forward say 1 second on the timeline, and then crank that up to 100. And if we skip back to our final comp and check out a preview, you can see the end result. Custom 3D text and our 2D text camera tracked and writing across the screen just like the trailer. Pretty awesome, huh? Now guys, I just want to mention before I close this one out that I am working in After Effects CC, and if I wanted to render the Cinema 4D file within After Effects, I can actually do that. I just found that it was quite render intensive, and for the purposes of the tutorial, it was just easier to render it out in Cinema 4D and bring it into After Effects as a PNG sequence. But if you want to render it in After Effects the entire thing, go for it. I ain't gonna stop you. Add up all those steps and you get something like this. So that's my take on the Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 title card, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please leave a like and let me know what title card you'd like me to make next, as I do plan on making more of these template episodes in between our regular effects tutorials this season. Now guys, I also want to let you know that I've started a Patreon, but I'm going to address that in my next video because I really want you to understand why I made that decision, because it's not one I take lightly. But that of course is my time for this week. As always, don't forget to like and share the video. For all you newbies out there, help us reach 100,000 subscribers by clicking here, and check out some of these sweet videos over here. We'll be back next week with more effects laden goodness, social media craps up there, and for the first time in season 5, keep learning.